Hey, so I just thought I would come on and just give you a little bit of an update, how things are going, especially with the songwriting process for the new album. As I've mentioned, this new project I'm working on is based off of the historical events of the Wars of the Roses, going through kind of into the reign of King Henry VIII. So, Plantagenet and Tudor England. And I was writing this today. I was doing some writing of the songs, working on some of the songs, and I was working on the song Winter King, the Winter King in particular. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Plantagenet or Tudor history, the Winter King refers to King Henry VII, King Henry VIII's father. And the song is basically, it's about Henry VII and just all of the just like the different things, the different emotions he's going through upon the death of his wife, Elizabeth of York. And now he fears his kingship hangs in the balance now and might be at risk because it was kind of known that really he needed to, after the Wars of the Roses was over, Richard III was defeated and killed in the Battle of Bosworth. And in order for Henry VII to really be accepted as king, he had to marry Elizabeth of York, Edward the Fourth's daughter. So that's kind of like the nutshell history of that. I mean, there's more to it, but that's kind of the nutshell history of that. And and he was always a very paranoid king. He just was always like, I don't think he was ever, I mean, based on what I've read on him and documentaries that I've seen on him, I don't think he was ever really secure in his position. And with good reason too, because the public can actually, it's like they can change like that. So especially in those days, but he's a very interesting character. I'm a very unabashed Ricardian, Team York, but I do find, but of course, I do find the Lancastrian side, the Tudors, I do find them very interesting too, and I can actually also sympathize with Henry VII and just the very uncertain position he was in. But that's basically, in a nutshell, Henry VII and what inspired me to write Winter's King. And I have the composition done, and I thought I had the lyrics done, but today, as I was, just trying to put them all together, I just found I wasn't satisfied with the lyrics. So I went back to the drawing board and I basically rewrote the lyrics. I did not rewrite the composition. The composition I think I'm pretty happy with, but I rewrote just the entire thing, and I like lyric wise, and I came up with kind of like, it was almost like I had to go back and, because to me the lyrics were just coming off as very generic, and I didn't feel they really captured just the inner turmoil that Henry VII was going through. So and of course I want to do that justice. So I went back. I actually watched a documentary on Henry VII just to kind of refresh my memory on his history. It was called Henry VII, The Secret Life. I think it was called something like The Secret Life of England's Most Sinister King. And it's also titled The Winter's King too, which is because he was known as the Winter King. And so I went back and I watched that documentary, and then I compiled I compiled this story from that about Henry VII. His wife, his queen, has just passed away, and he's sitting in this dark room, as he was known to do. He was known to basically shut himself off because, like I said, he was pretty paranoid. He didn't let too many people in his circle. based on what I've watched and read on him. And he's just going through just this moment. And, you know, in this moment, he's just going through all of these different range of emotions. He's going through wondering if the people that wanted him on the throne, the people who kind of helped him in the Battle of Bosworth, did they really believe in him? Did they really love him? Or, I mean, even his mother, and him and his mother had a very close relationship. Margaret Beaufort, even his mother, he kind of wonders, like, well, did my mother do this because she loved me, or was she just doing it for her own gain? And he's going through all these emotions, and then he, thinks he's being haunted, by visions of Richard III, as well as haunted by the death of his own wife. So I wanted to put all of that into a song. So I kind of wrote up a story, and the story's pretty cool. So I don't know, I might somehow find a way to include like that story in with like the song, whether it's the album art, whatever. But I don't know, I might find a way to do it. But it really, and then this really got me thinking, because after that I got to work on the song, and I'm still going to tweak it a little bit as I do the composition, but I'm a lot happier with the lyrics for Winter King now. And then I started working after that on the Sons of York, Power of Three, and then Daughters of the Water, which is about Jacquetta of Luxembourg, Elizabeth Woodville, and Elizabeth of York. And I'll explain in a future video why it's called Daughters of the Water. But if you're familiar with, with all of that, whether it's the actual history or the myths and legends behind it, you might know why, but I'll explain in a future video. But it really kind of got me thinking that this type of songwriting that I'm doing, these type of songs that I'm writing for this project, is quite different from other songs that I've written, just because I am writing about historical events. I'm writing about people who actually lived, and it's more challenging, just because it's more challenging than, me like maybe writing, a piece of like Gothic or Celtic poetry and then putting it to music. I'm really having to kind of sink my teeth into this one, and I don't know, maybe I'm a little crazy for it, but it is something. It is a part of history that really fascinates me. I enjoy reading about a lot of the people that lived during this time. And I enjoy exploring both sides of the Wars of the Roses, the Plantagenet side and the Lancastrian side, which then, the Tudor dynasty sprung up from. But the very short-lived Tudor dynasty, too, I might add. I'm also trying to binge watch the Tudors again, too. So I'm just, and of course reading nonfiction and watching, documentaries and stuff on top of the more fun historical fiction. But it's a lot different, because like I said, I'm really having to kind of, when you do something like this, whether you're writing a piece of historical fiction or you're doing a concept musical project based off of actual events in history, in a way, you're kind of bringing these characters, not characters, because they were people, bringing these people back to life. And it really, it's like I said, it's more of a challenge, because in a way you want to do these people justice, but in another way you also you want to make it accessible to, say, people who may not be familiar with that part of history. And when it comes to history, I am a total purist at heart. I like sticking to the facts, but at the same time, I also believe in, making history enjoyable and accessible for everyone, because that's really how we can keep it alive. Especially, I mean, because some of us who are history buffs, we can sit down and read a history book, but not everybody can. So I also understand the importance of, things like historical fiction and, things of that nature, and what it does to really kind of bring people in and introduce them to that history, and then hopefully they'll go and actually research the actual history. So but I just wanted to kind of share a little bit of that, and just share just that discovery I made today, and like how much more of a challenge that this project is going to be songwriting wise, and it already is songwriting wise. But I'm really enjoying it, and I do think that once all is said and done, the songs are going to be really good. And I just wanted to just kind of jump on here and just kind of fill you in a little bit on my songwriting process for the new album. And yeah, and also, my new website is almost done. It'll be released this week, so get excited. And if you're on my Scrolls email list, you will actually get a first look at the website. I'm really, really excited. So if you're not on my email list, then why not? So visit, it's on at Tiffany at Penn Music. So, and yeah, just visit that. So, all right. So I will see you later, and I'm getting to where I think I can, post injury, I could start like going live again. So hopefully in the next month, I can actually do a live stream. All right. So I'll talk to you later and see you next time. All right. Bye.